Namaste. My name is Dr. Pranita Gopal and I'm a faculty here at CIET NCERT. On behalf of everybody here at CIET and the Adobe team, I welcome all the teachers and viewers to our NCERT Live Events channel, NCERT Events YouTube Live. Today is the 11th session of our pilot training program for the teachers who are joining us from Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Delhi, Haryana, Gujarat and Assam. And all the teachers and teacher educators, we extend a very hearty welcome to all of you. In today's session, we will understand how technology integration can help us make our classroom more engaging. NEP 2020, as you all are aware, has been focusing on integrating technology into all aspects of the classroom so as to ensure our classroom becomes extremely enlivened and the student engagement increases with every class. Using technology ensures that learning becomes fun, learning helps students achieve greater goals, and more importantly, it gives them the confidence that they too can process whatever is happening in the classroom. With this synergistic association that NCERT is having with the Adobe team, we have curated content, we have planned this training program so as to help teachers tap into the digital creativity skills and enhance their teaching learning process. And in the whole process, teachers help students become more innovative in the classroom. So this program was launched on the 3rd of June, and since then we have had 11 sessions. And one of the most important hallmarks is the session that we are having today.
NCERT, collaboration with Adobe India, presents a pioneering online training program. Discover the power of Adobe Express and Adobe Acrobat with AI Assistant to bring digital creativity and AI skills into the classroom. Starting from 6th of June till the end of July, join us every Tuesday and Thursday from 3:30 to 5 p.m. Tune in to the NCERT Events YouTube channel and be a part of the future of education.
So just as you saw, we started this program and this journey on the 3rd of June. Since then, we have had 11 sessions where we have worked with teachers, learnt with teachers. The pilot training program spans over 20 hours and is divided into two major parts. The first part was a general preparatory session where all teachers were introduced to the various features of Adobe Express, and we tried to integrate pedagogical learning principles into the classroom. In the second session, which we are starting today, we are now moving ahead and looking into subject-specific skill sets and areas that specific subject teachers can use in their classroom with Adobe Express. Now, this program that we are having runs from the 3rd of July till the 31st of July on every Tuesday and Thursday at 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. The session schedule is available for all of you to see on the screen. As you would have all noticed, all the programs are running on the NCERT Events YouTube channel. So now I hope all of you are ready to ignite your creativity with our session today. It is my pleasure to introduce the panel who is going to take us through this training session. I have with me Ms. Meenakshi, who is an Adobe creative educator who has worked extensively with teachers to build the capacity to empower them to integrate technology into the classroom. She brings in a varied experience of working with subject teachers of many domains, and her focus is to help teachers leverage technology efficiently and effectively in the classroom. Welcome, Meenakshi ma'am.
Thank you.
And also we have with us today two mathematics teachers who are practitioners. We have with us Sonia Vadhva ma'am, who's working as a technology integration specialist with the Salvan Education Trust. Ma'am specializes in motivating maths teachers across the grades to infuse technology into the mathematics classroom to create a very, very interesting learning environment. Welcome, ma'am, to our event today.
Thank you for having me.
We also have Ayushi ma'am, who is working with the Shalom Presidency School. Miss Ayushi has been a maths teacher for almost a decade now and is working again to create students' classroom interactions which are more engaging and which are infused with technology. Both the practitioners today will give us live examples from their own classroom experience of how they have used Adobe Express to change the dynamics which they envisage in their classroom. But before we move ahead, let us see a quick video on what Adobe Express can do for us in our classroom. So as we saw in the video, we realized that Adobe Express becomes a very powerful tool that helps us create informative infographics for our students and even for us that we use as aids in the classroom. Adobe Express has stock images within the framework of the platform that helps us create worksheets, that helps us create assignments, and we are able to use various tools and apps so as to ensure classroom engagement increases. But before we proceed ahead, I would request Meenakshi ma'am to take us through the previous sessions that we have had and give us a quick roundout of what we have done.
Thank you, ma'am. And I'm going to talk about, the privilege that we've had to have you all in our session. Honestly, we are absolutely thrilled and amazed to see the amazing response that we got from you as a part of this project. We have been able to achieve this only because of your active participation. You already have the welcome kit with you, and I'm going to show you in the welcome kit that there are certain modifications that we have made for your convenience, and I'll walk you through that. So I'll share my screen with you so that you have that on your screen as well. And here you go. So this is the welcome kit that you already have with you. You already have been sent this in case you had signed up. So, and like ma'am had said that, we have run this project from 3rd June to 31st of July. This welcome kit is very rich. It has all the resources that you actually require. And if you scroll down, in every session, we've had these 10 enriching sessions. In fact, if you're looking for more, you can simply just, in case you missed out any, you could simply just go back to NCERT events channel, view these because they are of immense value to you. Each topic that was picked up here holds much value in our classroom when we are teaching and learning using technology. They will hold you and they will actually help you sail through, adopt these practices in your classroom. Like I said, we are absolutely grateful to you that you have been very, very amazingly active. If you scroll down further on this toolkit, you will see that you have Project A. Now, this is your submission which is immediately due. Please note, you're only supposed to submit any one of the projects. So here are the 5 projects that we had shared with you across the 10 sessions that we had done. We would request you to at least send us one. And yes, any one is enough. While you share your projects, how are you going to share it? There is a button over here. When you click on this button, it will take you to this form. As you begin working on this form, this has very simple questions that are presented to you: your name, your school name, your registered email ID, and your state from where you have joined, city, district, and classes you teach, and the Project A link. Please remember, this is the Project A link that we are talking about. I will request for a video on this as well. It's given right here in your toolkit, but we'll run the process once again for you.
In this video, we will learn how to submit Project A using Microsoft Forms. Once I'm done with my project, I will go to the Share button, which is visible on the top corner. Upon clicking the Share button, go to the permission rights and change it to anyone with the link. Then click on Copy Link. Scroll further down to click on Publish to Web. Upon clicking on Publish to Web, change the title of your project as per your requirement. You may also enable the author name to be visible along with the project and allow remixing of your project.
ठीक है जी.
Then hit the Publish link to publish your design. Allow a moment to Adobe Express to publish your design within the Adobe Cloud. Upon doing so, it will prompt you to copy the link. Copy the link and then move to the NCERT Welcome Kit for the Teachers web page. On the web page, scroll down to find the Project A submission guidelines. There, click on the Project A submission form. It will take you to Microsoft Form for submitting your projects. Start filling up the details in the submission form, such as your name, your school name, the registered email ID, choose the school state or union territory, provide the school city name and the school district name, followed by the information about the classes that you teach. Towards the end, just paste the link that you just copied from Adobe Express and hit the submit button. Your project will get submitted.
Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am. So dear teachers and all the educators who have joined us today, my request is to please mark your calendars for the 12th of July, 6 p.m. when we would like you to showcase whatever you have learned with us during the last 10 weeks. 12th of July at 6 p.m. is the last date for submitting the projects for the Project A. So today's session that we are going to deal with looks into how we are going to use tech tools, especially Adobe Express, in the mathematics classroom. Now, teaching mathematics to the young learners requires a lot of thought, requires a lot of planning, because students have to try and map what they're listening in the classroom to what they're actually seeing around them. And that is why essentially we need to remember that when we teach mathematics in the classroom, we are looking at some very specific strategies, and these strategies teachers use across the ages. I'm going to take you through some visuals that will help you realize and acknowledge that teaching mathematics often uses these strategies in the classroom. The first example that we all use in a maths classroom is that of moving from abstract to concrete concepts. So when we look at abstract to concrete concepts, we need to remember that every example that a teacher talks about in terms of numbers, in terms of quantifying objects, students find it very difficult to immediately grasp it. And so what do teachers do? They do bundling exercises, they teach numbers, and so we look from moving from abstract to concrete numbers. In the next part of our segment, when we look at now on your screen, thank you so much Meenakshi ma'am, on your screen you are looking at an example where we are looking to bridge the gap between concrete objects and abstract ideas using charts and visuals. Like for example, the example which you're seeing on the screen is from the mathematics book of NCERT of grade 3 Maths Mela. In this example which you're seeing, students are learning about the various shapes. Now we all see these shapes along, and one of the fun games that students like to do is add these shapes to make it into an object that we see around. Like if you're able to see on screen, you would notice that the shapes of a cylinder, a cube, a cone are moving. A rectangle and circle are almost giving an example of a building that has been constructed using these shapes. Now if we move ahead, one of the major features which we want every student in our class to enjoy is to ensure learning is active. And in order to do that, we try and take examples which are real world examples. So let me take you through another example from the NCERT Class 2 Mathematics book, Joyful Mathematics. In this example, you are looking at fun at the fair. If you would read this chapter, you would notice this talks about an event of a fair which we all see in our villages, towns, in our cities, and children love going to the fairs. Now this enjoyable activity that all students have experienced at some point of time is linked to a mathematical concept that we all deal in our classroom by giving the students the example of money. So in this example, the students are actively engaging with an experience they've had to all the kind of activities they would like to do. Similarly, we also notice if we use the technique of storytelling or contextual learning, learning becomes fun. Diwali is coming around. Some time we will all get busy celebrating this festival. And it's not just about Diwali. Students love to make beads. The malas from the beads, they love to create a golden, garlands which they can either play around in their dramas and all. So garlands are used very interestingly to teach the students the value of place and the place value. In another example that you are seeing on your screen, students also love to use patterns. Now when we talk about pattern recognition, this is a concept that students from younger classes to elderly adult students and learners also use pattern recognition when they try and solve question papers. So when we teach students the skill sets young, it's a lifelong learning skill that they acquire. Similarly, we all are aware of how using technology helps create a classroom which is more engaging and gives students the opportunity to manipulate what they have learned. And one strategy that works very well in the classroom if you are using technology, and in our case, if you're using tools from the Adobe Express, is to create differentiated instruction lesson. Like for example, earlier, we had seen the case of fun and the fair, and we had seen an example where the students were told to discuss about how much money they spent. Now, if you were using Adobe Express, you can create a differentiated instruction plan by giving your students who you feel are advanced in mathematics to distribute the money so as to see if there are 5 people along with you, how much money would you need to go around the merry-go-round? How much money would you need for the Ferris wheel? So there you're teaching concepts of multiplication which could be ahead of what your other average students are doing. But it is challenging enough for students who want to remain engaged. Similarly, if you have students who are finding it difficult to understand the concepts, you can make the learning easier by creating a step lower down. So when we use digital tools, when we help students visualize what they're learning in mathematics, it creates a lesson which is engaging. And one of the best ways to do that is to have access to technology that helps you deliver those lessons. And that's where I think Adobe Express is extremely useful, because it already has a lot of templates, it already has a lot of elements that we can customize within our classroom learning to ensure students do not have any kind of hesitation while engaging with mathematics lessons. Another advantage of using tech tools, which you all are aware, is we have opportunities to create collaborative learning environments. So, in today's session, we are going to look at some examples that our teachers have used in their classrooms to ensure the classrooms are fun and the students learn the concepts very well. And the 2 teachers who are here with us are active Adobe Express users and will vouch for the fact that they have been able to create a teaching learning process which was extremely engaging, and they were able to have visible impact in the learning curves of the students. But before we start that, I would like Meenakshi ma'am to take us through a quick recap of how do we log in case you have not logged into your account yet. Please do log in, because there are some goodies awaiting there, and once you log into your account, you will be able to understand and maximize the benefits that we are using in these sessions. So I will request Meenakshi ma'am to take us back through this login process.
Sure. I think it's a pleasure for us to tell you about this once again. You simply have to go to any browser, type new.express.adobe.com. So while you go over there, I'll show you on my screen as well how it moves. Here it is. This is the first screen that greets you, and you enter your email ID here. Once you enter your email ID and click on continue, what will happen is it will ask you for your password. Now, when I put in my password over here and I say continue, it will take me to my home page where it will greet me by my name, and I know that this login process is complete and the correct one. Please make sure that you use your correct ID. If you can see here on top, once again, it's new.express.adobe.com. So there are new.express.adobe.com, and if you've logged in with your correct ID, it should greet you by your name. There will be a big box here which will have your name. And let's see the video once again for you to log in.
This video depicts the process of logging into your Adobe Express educational accounts. To begin with, please follow the teacher's login guide provided in your welcome kit. In the teacher's login guide, we have depicted 4 steps for you to follow to log in into your Adobe Express educational accounts. Kindly remember to use your registered email ID only. On the first page, please click on the Adobe Express link provided. This will take you to the login page of Adobe Express. On the login page, please enter your registered email ID to proceed into your login. Now enter the password linked with your email ID. and click on continue. Upon continuing, you will be given option to choose between two profiles. Kindly select the Pilot Digital Creativity Skills profile only. This will take you to your Adobe Express educational account. Your educational account will look something like this. It will welcome you with your name, and on the left panel, you can see the educational resources. Welcome. Now let's begin.
So, Meenakshi ma'am, how do you think maths teachers can use use Adobe Express in the mathematics classroom?
Absolutely. Now, just one last reminder to you, please. Do not miss out on logging in the right process, because that's extremely important. There are new updates, so many ideas that we all are going to share with you. Don't miss out on that. So use the right login process. And of course, like Dr. Pranita mentioned, there are freebies also out there. So I'm sure now you're excited enough to actually look at it. But today we are talking about mathematics. Mathematics is one subject where I think from the beginning, from the early years, students engage in problem solving. And when they engage in problem solving, that's where we get them thinking. And that's the place where students start learning first. So it is extremely important for us that we are able to capture their thinking and lend more to their thinking and be able to bring out and make their thinking visible. Now, talking about that, I remember one practice from my class, which I think aced pretty much every year that I had my students. I always used to have a question of the day. And today, I'm your teacher. No, I'm not. I'm your buddy. So I'm going to share my trick with you as to how I normally use question of the day. I have one question of the day for you, and I want you to get active, get your devices, log in and stay ready, because I'm going to show you on my screen how are we going to go ahead and bring in this amazing surprise for you, because my screen is just waiting for you to share with you the question of the day. So I would normally have on my board, of course all of you have boards, and that little board that you have in your class where you don't know what to do, I normally would put it up for questions, right? So here you go. Here's your question. Get on the system, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the process of me doing this a little later. I'm going to engage you there. That's your question of the day. Is it possible to make 1,000 with 8 eighths in any way by using any of the operations, whether it's addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or any that you want to use? Imagine how open-ended. I hope everyone in the room here also is excited.
Yes,
I'm going to get everybody to solve this, and
Yes.
on your screen you would see the question of the day, and I'm going to put up the QR code for you over here for you to see and for you to go ahead and try this. I'm super excited for this. I'm going to put this timeline down. I'm going to play this for you. So that's the code that you can scan and respond to the question of the day. Go ahead. We are waiting for you. The Padlet link is what this link will take you to. The Padlet link is given to you. Please go ahead and share with us your responses. I would love to see what you're creating. As this flashes on your screen, I'm going to give you the question once again. So I'm going to keep switching between the two so that you have visibility to both. Is it possible to make 1,000 with 8 eighths in any way by using any of the operations? Well, that's pretty open-ended for you to get going. Now what I'm going to do is, you already have the link to the Padlet, so I'm going to take you to my Padlet, and the question is right here. Let's get your responses in, and you have the link as well in the Padlet. So just in case you need another way to find out, here's the link. You can go over here, click here, and this will take you directly to the template. So what you're going to do is, you could either post your response in the chat window, or you could just look at this Padlet and post your response from here. Click on the plus sign. We've given you the template. Please record, create that in your template and then post it over here. So here's the link for the Padlet for you, and you could simply just scan this. When you scan this, the screen that you just saw on my screen will open up. It will have your question of the day. It will have the link to the template that you could use to create a digital creative. Do share with us on the Padlet your creative piece, and I would love to see as they pop up on my screen. I'm excited to see your responses. I'm going to give you a minute and a bit of quietness, I guess, to help you create what you're creating. And your question is super simple. Is it possible to make 1000 with 8 8s in any way by using any operations between plus, minus, multiply and divide? Okay. Okay, question of the day. I'm sure, along with me, there are other educators also who would have tried this. We would appreciate if you could, get us how do you hook your students and engage your students in your classroom. Do share with us in the YouTube, comments section. We'll pick up your comments from there and we'll take it onwards. And I can see, everybody in the room is also buzzing, trying to solve and crack. So yes, it's exciting to see. And I'm going to, in the next 10 seconds, reveal the answers on my screen. Yes, I'm being very careful that I don't reveal the answers before that. Here's your scan code in case you need the template. Exciting. All right, so let's get ready for the big reveal. Here is the big reveal for you. That's how you make 1000. Clever, isn't it? Absolutely clever. That's how you
was a good one.
Simplest.
Fantastic. Look, we're having so much fun. If adults can have fun, imagine if we were giving this to students. Oh, this room is going to be so noisy, but there will be productive struggle happening in my classroom. Students will be engaged and they will want to solve all of this. You want to hear more about all of this? Well, that's why we have our experts today with us, and these are subject matter experts. They'll take you through so many examples of what they have been using in their classroom. At this point, I'm going to pause and invite Ms. Sonia Vadva to share what's happening in her class, and let's hear from her.
Thank you, Meenakshi. And once again, I welcome all the maths educators who are connected with us today and watching us live. So let us together embark on the journey of making maths fun in the classroom using Adobe Express. So are you ready to embark with me? Let's go. So first I will be, just putting the scenario in place, and then I will take you through some examples. So as we are talking about the primary group, especially I am being asked to keep focus on the examples which caters to the primary group. So let's think about the learners. So learner in a primary classroom are of the age groups from age of 5 to age of 12. So these young learners are very enthusiastic and full of energy. Now how to keep them engaged, and especially when it comes to math, and in my experience I have seen many children have fear for mathematics. So making maths fun and engaging is more so the duty of mathematics educator. We have seen the use of Adobe Express in the classroom, where we could make our classes more engaging and learning fun for our learners, and today I'll be sharing those examples with you. So just one famous quote that we all can reflect on, as they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So when something is depicted through a picture, it's very powerful. And this is where the power of Adobe Express actually, brings a lot of concepts in the mathematics. We have strong visuals which are already available over there in the tool, like the live worksheet templates, interactive posters, web page templates, which teachers can just pick up and use in the classroom and engage the learners in meaningful manners. I am sure you must be thinking that she is talking, but where are the examples and how we have used it in our classroom? So let's together watch those examples. Allow me to share my screen, and we will together see such of those, a few of those examples quickly. So I will just pick up one of the presentation, and with the help of that, I will be showcasing those examples to you. Okay. So Adobe Express has completely changed our approach to teaching maths to young students by creating interactive visual experiences that not only spark a passion for learning but also has significantly improved comprehension of mathematical principles. So let us see this through some of the examples. So when it comes to using the tool, it's not that technology integration is the need of hour, and that's why we are talking about using Adobe Express. No, it's not for that. Definitely we are catering to the generation which are digital natives, and we must teach them in a way that they want to learn. But definitely our intention here is to make teaching learning content more engaging and learning spaces more inviting. That is why Adobe Express is a great tool that we are talking about today. So you must be thinking, it is a lot for teachers to create a lot of material. So today, whatever presentation that I will show you, you will see it's not always the teacher who is creating the content. You would notice that there are some examples where students have created the content. So both students and teachers are partner in learning. Wherever there are young learners, definitely teachers are creating the material and children are the users. But when we go to upper primary section, I would show you a couple of examples where students have also co-created the content with the teachers. So I'm just waiting for the page to come up, and then we would see some of those examples.
Yes, Sonia, I think it sounds very interesting, and looks like we're going to inspire many young minds today and ignite their curiosity to use Adobe Express in mathematics. And I'm really looking forward to hearing those examples. But you know what? These examples are coming straight from the classroom. So what you will see is authenticity. Dr. Pranita has actually walked us through the textbook, and you will see that correlation come to life. And that's what we are most excited about, that we just don't come here as Adobe experts to show you something on the screen. It's actually a leaf out of your own booklet which you could adopt and take it back to your classrooms. So yes, we are very excited to see that. I'll let Ayushi ma'am also come in and probably introduce what is she carrying in her Pandora's box today for us.
So let's dive into the fun of mathematics and using the invaluable tool of Adobe for teaching grade 5 onwards. So Adobe has completely changed the way we teach our kids. So it has, by providing a platform that supports our children the way they want to learn, the way that we want to teach. And apart from that, you must have seen teachers, there are so many diverse children in our classes. We see some of them, they require HOTS questions, they are much of there, they want complex questions in their classrooms. Second, there are lot of children who they need a little help, or they cannot come up into the classrooms because of their some or the other personal circumstances. And the other ones, when we are talking about the third group of students from our classrooms, where they have the fear, where they have the math anxiety, that thinking of they don't want to learn about maths, but yes, through Adobe, when we create videos and when we give them to explore them on their own, so Adobe has made it successful for every teacher that we can make a very happy classroom, and that too relieving the children that they don't have any fear from maths. So
awesome. Thank you, Ayushi. Love your enthusiasm, and yes, we are very excited. So yes, I will invite Sonia ma'am back over here so that we can share these practices with you. And on my screen, we will see the kind of practices that they have. I'm going to show you that.
So we found Adobe Express to be incredibly versatile and user-friendly tool. And even if teachers do not have that kind of tech expertise, tool is not going to hamper the working. It's a very user-friendly tool. Simply by dragging, dropping, some of the things, we would be able to create the creations. So on my screen, the first example that you see is of ready-to-use templates. So Adobe Express offers a variety of customizable templates that can be used to create engaging worksheets. Now this is class 5, chapter about data handling. So you see this interesting worksheet. So we could arrange a black and white printout. That's why you see it little dull. Otherwise, children, if you can manage to provide them with color printouts, the worksheet itself is very attractive. So this is from a ready-made template. Day-wise, the number of donuts are being depicted and children were asked to answer these questions. So what about, rather than putting a simple chart with chalk and talk on the board, and instead of that, putting a colored worksheet on the interactive flat panel in the classroom and alongside providing a hard copy to the students, it is much more fun and engaging. So you can see the teachers are already using these templates. Now to the left of the screen, if you see, there is a maths worksheet where the template is about percentages. But this teacher was doing the topic factors in the classroom and she loved the template. So what she did is, with a few clicks, which I'll show you in the later part of the presentation when I'll give you the demo. So with a few clicks, she changed the percentage topic to factor here, and then she changed the problem in the boxes. So she used the same template. So she need not to have the tech expertise of using, DTP softwares to create and format. Template is super easy to edit, and she then changed a percentage worksheet into a factor one. So as you can see, it is super simple, and then children could put answers in the boxes which were already there in the template. Now moving ahead, at times we want students to create content, and especially in class 4 and 5, when you are doing peer activities and you want to do formative assessment, we want students to assess each other. NAP also says peer assessment is very crucial. So this is where, we ask students to use their expertise so whatever, suppose the teacher has just finished with the topic shapes. Now we ask students, you create a problem worksheet for your peers. So students were asked to create the content to assess their peers. So on the screen, we were showing you the examples. So see now these examples. So this is the worksheets created by class 4 student. So the child first created this particular infographics by dragging some shapes in Adobe Express, and then he's giving the question to his peers, the count and write the number of shapes which is being used in this worksheet. So teacher has not created the worksheet. The child has created the worksheet for his peer. So the teacher divided the class in a group of 2. Now the second child has also created this. So what is happening here? NEP also talks about art integration. Now you see, the art integration is happening naturally. The children are integrating art with mathematics, and as we can see, they have created these beautiful houses and then put up a question for their peers to do the assessment. And then teacher can be a facilitator in the classroom, can take round, can see how children are performing. Now these are the ready-made templates which are already available in Adobe Express. If the teacher wish to pick up these templates for other geometry exercises, the teacher can simply download, which I'll show you in the later part of presentation, how quick it is to grab these templates and use it in the classroom whenever you need it. So we always need not to reinvent the wheel. Most of the stuff, basis CBSE curriculum, is already available in the tool, which is available at the click of a button. The teacher just need to spend time to figure out whichever content you want, which suits your need, edit it a little bit if you want. So at some schools, want on the worksheets the school logo or some branding of the school. So it's super easy. You download the templates and then using any PDF editor, I would say Adobe Acrobat is again a super tool over there. So do little bit of editing, add your school logo, and then you are ready to use it in your classrooms. Now next example is animated slide. So I will in the session itself, I'll try to show you how to create one of these slides, and you will see that when there is animation or when there is so if there is a screen which is constant, So the children lose interest. So if you want to grab their attention, this is where animation can become very helpful. So we will show you through some example. Let me give you one simple example. Suppose you are a maths teacher and you are trying to tell them about ratio and proportion. So you just pick up animated slide. Even you can use generative AI to give you a slide where there are cars of different colors. So you will get a picture, and now you put little animation that cars in the picture are coming one at a time. You tell children that I want you to tell me that in what ratio there are white cars as compared to other cars. So you are telling them ratio and proportion. You can even create similar kind of exercises with the visuals for probability. So there are immense opportunities that teachers can think about and use it from the tool. Now, it's not only about using Adobe Express for digital pedagogies. There is a lot that maths teacher do on the admin part as well. I'm sure you must be conducting maths quizzes in your classroom, in your schools. You must also be conducting, Ramanujan Day or some other day, International Mathematics Day. So on such events, teachers are being asked to share reports. So even if suppose you have one math fair coming up in the school, you want to put everything in one place and you want that space to be continuously updated. So this is where the Adobe Express web pages will come very handy to you. So on the first day of the event itself, let's talk about, I'll show you on my screen how we did it. So a maths teacher can create a web page about maths quiz. So the moment you do the preliminary round, you can put the information over there. So let me just open this maths quiz report for you. So now let's see. The teacher on the first day itself, when she decided to do the quiz, after doing the elimination round, she has put in the round details and the number of selected participants, rules for each round, and this page was shared with parents. Now when the page was shared with parent community and with students, by that time we have not received the results. We have not put in the picture of the quiz because the actual event has not happened. But we don't want multiple links to be shared with parents. So a communication went along with this page link that keep checking this space for more update on maths quiz. So till the time the final quiz was conducted, every little information was put into this web page. So what teacher was doing, putting information into the web page and just refreshing the link every time she would put some information, which is also super simple. I'll show you once we will once I'll give the demonstration, come to the demonstration part. Now same way you can make engaging lesson content also. So see this plan. So here we as teachers, always keep our teaching material ready with us. So now with technology inclusion and with lot of content which is available online, we prefer having our content also available in the form of handouts, which can be given to the students later on. So same goes with the content also. So in our school, the teachers are keeping teaching resources and lesson plans also in Adobe, maintaining them as Adobe Express web pages. Now suppose the teacher has done today only the multiplication of fraction, and it is multiplication of a proper fraction by proper fraction, and she doesn't want children to be confused with improper fraction. So what she would do, she would put the content of only one concept and the page link is being given to the children in the beginning of the lesson itself. So once she has done with one concept, next day she is going to start with by whole number. So she would publish the content of that subtopic and not putting everything together. So children are being explained that every day when you go back home and when you want to revise what we did in the class, please check this page. So the page is being given to them, link is being given to them in the beginning itself. But the children are not actually updating checking the entire content together. So teacher is publishing it in phases, as you can see. So once she will be finished with mixed fraction, she is then only going to publish the content of mixed fraction. So they are not confused with overload of information. The information is being given to them in the scattered manner, and they have the entire notes or help material in one place. And now at times teachers want children to watch some videos or solve some problem. So the video links are also embedded seamlessly into the Express page. So the child has all the learning material in one page. That is one example. Now again, I'll show you one example of the event report. I already showed you about mathematics quiz. There is one Brighter Mind program which maths department conducted recently. So the beauty of this web page here is it was conducted during summer break. So parents, the children were at home, and for some of the sessions they were coming to school physically and some of the sessions were happening online. So right from the schedule of the program to the recording of the online event to the report of the event, everything was shared seamlessly through our Adobe Express web page. So this is, I was giving you an example where teacher other than teaching has to do some admin work also related to their subject. So there we talked about maintaining department related reports through Adobe Express. I also showed you that when you do lesson planning, how Adobe Express can be used and we can use the resources. So I have spoken a lot. Let's come back to the main web page and see some more examples, and then we will take a deep dive in creating some of those, because I am sure you are more excited and willing to see how this all is happening. And you must be thinking that this is done by some experts. So believe you me, this is not done by expert. We all are teachers like you. And once we had to take the first step, maybe we were a little shaky. Oh, graphics of this level, we are not web designer, we are not DTP publishers. But believe you me, once you have the tool in your hand, you will log in. It's just drag and drop, and the tool is super easy. Now see, if as a maths teacher, you have taught them today, maybe on a chalk and talk method only, different type of lines in geometry, or see other example, you have talked to them to class 3 about divisibility rules. So you have explained them, what is the divisibility rule for 3, 5, 7, how do you check those? Now you want that to register with them. So why not give them an opportunity to create an Adobe Express poster? Give them an chance that create a poster about different kind of lines that you have learned. On my screen you see some of the creations done by the students. Let's see about divisibility rules poster also. So this is class 5 and 4. When we did the divisibility rules with them, we asked them, you all have to go back, what you have understood, make some posters. So some children just put in the point, some used graphics, some they used their own creativity. So rather than giving a homework where they are just writing, now see the second example. This child has tried to change the color of every rule. So if you see, so that's the power of graphics. They're trying to make the poster attractive. They're reading the text choice. They're putting it with proper formatting also. So to be able to create digital content, that is also one of the most important 21st century skills. So we have to teach them alongside how to do digital communication, how to be effective digital communicator. And opportunities like this not only help them to foster their mathematics concept recapitulation, but we are also grooming them for effective digital communication. I hope you all would agree to me. So if you all are in agreement with what I am saying, and if you feel that it makes some sense to bring this tool in your classes, whether you are using or you are making your learners, you can tell us in the chat window, yes, it is making some sense. You can show thumbs up, you can say, yes, it makes, I resonate with the thought. So we want some sort of confirmation that you are with us in this session and you are, really learning, or, at least making note of the pedagogies and the practices that we are sharing. So let's go to the web page once more and see a few more examples. So see, when it comes to comprehension based problems, so as maths educators, we have really faced parents saying that he knows maths but he doesn't know comprehension. So he's weak with the language, but weak with the language should not make the child suffer when it comes to mathematics. So this is where the storyboard problems, or the ready-made templates available to create storyboard, it comes very handy. Now see this example on the screen. So the first picture is showing that a particular child has 87 marbles, then he gave it to somebody else. So see these examples for a child who is not really able to read full sentences, but when it comes to illustrations, he is able to relate some of the words with the illustration and is ready to, do it. I've seen, especially with children with special need in my school, when these kind of worksheets are given vis-a-vis a paragraph which is being written for them to understand a problem on subtraction. So rather than reading the whole paragraph, they are very comfortable understanding these graphics. So teacher has really taken absolutely no pain to create these graphics by themselves. They have actually picked up the ready-made templates which are there in Adobe Express. So at the bottom also there are some examples which are for little senior classes, upper primary. So teacher, to make these problems interesting and depict them on the smart board. Nowadays we all have in our classroom those smart boards, interactive panels or smart TVs. So this is where, rather than asking open page number 5, read problem 3, where half of them do not have the book with them, half of them do not, are not paying attention. When you put something very colorful on the screen like this, they all get attracted to solve the problem. So half of the problem itself is solved when they are engaged and when they are with you. So some more example, we really want children to collaborate in today's world. So this is where Adobe Express gives you an opportunity where, children can collaborate. So these are some examples of winter break projects which were given to the students, like they were asked to do research on famous mathematician, and whatever they have researched, the children worked in pairs and they were asked to make the posters. So they made these collaborative posters and then submitted. Moving ahead, I have already talked about interactive posters, infographics, which can be created by students or teachers. Now see the last bit of presentation where this is about practicality of using it in the classroom. So it's not, we want some sustainable solution. I would not say that every time you take a color printout and distribute it to the students. So it's about sustainable digital practices also. So as we already discussed, that we have some ways to project it in our classroom. So let's see this quick puzzle, if it is reflected and the teacher is using digital flashcards on the screen, so it can be very engaging. So it's not always a requirement that we print the content and give them as print material. We can use these kind of practices also. The last bit, you would love it, and so this is again a storyboard example. Let's go further down. So this is a child is planning for a birthday party and he plans to give some ice creams. So he's making a budget and the teacher is asking them to solve this problem. The last bit of the presentation talks about what NEP is also emphasizing. So, we want differentiated learning material to be created or personalized learning material to be created. Now, where is the time a teacher has in day-to-day time that you create 3 different set of worksheets? But imagine if you have templates like this, so just scroll down further, just little more. So we have, let's say you have 2 worksheets which are based on the template fractions, and we want similar worksheet to be done by the students, but we want figures to be slightly different. So when you have templates like this, then it is just about changing certain figures. For example, even if it is a maths bingo, I want X child to do with bigger numbers and Y child to do with smaller numbers. So templates allows us to create personalized learning material. Now the last example is on the screen. If you see here, this is what I'll show you in the demo right away. So at times we want pictures which are specific to our need. So when you search the internet, you might not get a copyright free image that you can use. So see this image, this is being created by generative AI. So what was the prompt that was given in Adobe Express, the feature? So the prompt was, give a room which is full of furniture which is made up of different geometrical shapes. So, or maybe some simpler, prompt that I want a building space or a my room space where there are different geometrical shapes. Now the teacher got this picture. So if I were a teacher, definitely this is I have created. So if I were in place of you, after teaching them shapes, I will not give them a worksheet. I will put a picture like this on the smart board and I'll ask them, so this room looks like whose study room, or does it you resonate with the arrangement in the room? Do you also have a similar kind of study room at home? Now, what are the things here which are circular in shapes? What are the shapes of the books? What are the shapes of the shelves? What is the shape of the table? So I would, then take their inputs. So this is, I used generative AI, gave it a prompt, and then I got this figure. Similarly, I tried another prompt. You can try like prompts like this. So, I wanted them to work on the theme of the month was nutrition. And we wanted children to solve maths problem around nutrition. So this picture was there in the template. So I picked up this. So on first screen, I asked them, is it like a healthy menu? So yes, it's like a healthy salad with very few calories going in if we all take it. So on the next slide in the presentation in continuation, I said this fruit salad is made up of 250 grams of each kind of fruit. Now the given are these the composition. If you take 250 grams of kiwi, you are taking 20 calories if you are taking apple. Now how much calorie intake is there if we all have this fruit platter? So this is the ready-made template which was there. I searched for food and nutrition, found the template, changed little bit of things like added my calorie meter here which I wanted them to pay attention, and I got this infographics ready. Now the beauty is NEP says you might have learners with their mother tongue in the classroom. Now if I wanted to put this same infographics in Hindi or in Gujarati or in Bengali, in 22 regional languages and to the extent in few foreign languages, I could at the click of a button translate the entire worksheet from one language to another. So this is what I am going to show you quickly in last 2 minutes. Okay, I will leave it to Meenakshi ma'am. She would whenever have an opportunity to show you, because I think I have other educator who also have to share a lot of things. So when we come to you for some of the demonstration, we'll see how super easy it is to do it at the click of a button. Thank you so very much to all the viewers for patiently watching all these practices. I am quite confident that there will be at least a takeaway for you back to your classrooms which you can try, and do share it on any of the Adobe platform, that what you tried, whether it worked or not, and it will be really a pleasure to see all of your work. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Sonia ma'am. That was extremely interesting and motivating, and I love the way which you actually brought the ways in which a classroom teacher can use it. And all those who are watching, please stay tuned. We will have specific sessions which looks into the multilingual capability that Adobe Express brings with it. Now I invite Ayushi ma'am to also take us through her journey quickly on how she has used Adobe Express in her own classroom and what has been experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So, my dear educators, we were talking about that how are the children in your classrooms, how do they behave, what all they need to understand what is actually mathematics. To focus on, I was already telling you before that yes, there are many kinds of children in our class. Some of the children, they have the different abilities. Some of them, they want the textual learning. Some of them, they want more audio visual aids, learning through their videos, and some of them, they want to explore their own videos. Like for example, I'll be taking you to a small journey where my children, they put on their own videos, and apart from that, all your voiceovers, they can even add on their own voiceovers, and the time savings for the teachers as well. So let's get back to our, I'll be sharing my screen with you all. Okay. Yes. So there are variety of formats which is there for personalized learning. Before I go ahead, I would like to ask you all that what is actually personalized learning? Okay, I'll be waiting for your answers in the chat box even. Okay, so let me brief you what is personalized learning. Personalized learning is when we cater to the needs of the child according to their needs, according to their skills, according to their abilities, what all a child needs. So focusing on the personalized learning of our children, Adobe has provided the variety of formats which is even time saving for teachers as well as our students. Furthermore, with the ability to create and access the pre-made resources and the templates, teachers can spend more time on making worksheets and making the presentations and infographics for their children, and they can focus more on what are the actually needs for the children. On the other hand, they can even access the information very quickly and easily, allowing and giving them space to children to learn on their own and at their own pace. As I already told you, every children has a different capability. So let's walk on to the step, let's step into their own shoes and let's think of that how will they learn. So Meenakshi ma'am has already told you, we are not teachers here, we are your buddies here. So yes, let's step into our children's shoes and think of that, let's dive into their minds and think of that what all we can do to make our learnings more effective. So moving on to the next slide, it shows you that if I am creating a slide on the text-based learning. Text-based learning is the text, the formats, everything is already there in your Adobe. You just need to one step ahead. It improves your reading comprehension as well as your problem solving skills. For example, if in my class I want to take up the word problems, and as ma'am already told that some of the children, they are not able to read. They don't want to read, they are just more of, want the pictorial representations. So we can add on first, if the child needs a text base, we can have a text based learning, and if we want pictorial representation, we can even have the pictorial representation. So let's have a journey to few of our assignments that we have already created. Okay, so here now I wanted my children are, I usually take one concept in a day. Now I want my children that yes, please tell us that what are proper fractions, what are improper fractions. So I have a ready-made infographic with them, I have a ready-made poster with them. So like for example, today I have just done improper fractions, so I don't need to prepare a worksheet based on it. I have a ready-made format, I can customize it on my own the way I want. Like for example, it's showing on the screen that I have made it for improper fractions. It clearly shows where the denominator and whatever, come on, you are maths teachers, you know that what are improper fractions. Now coming on, if I want to move on to my second level, I have introduced fractions. Now I want to move on how to multiply fractions and the kind of fractions do they have. So if you can see on my screen, I have a ready-made worksheet which was already prepared, and it was shared by me with the children when we have shared that what are actually fractions, how do we need to simplify a fraction. And come on teachers, educators, we are talking about grade 6th here. I am not talking about the youngsters who are not aware that what are integers, what are mixed number. This I am talking about when they are aware what are fractions. Even moving on, I have already told that we can even create the word problems. So this is the worksheet that we have created for our children. They were more enthusiastic. I have told them that you can add on your own pictures to it, you can customize it, you can use your own colors. So children were they were more happy to give an exploration, to change the themes. They were more eager to add on more pictures, and the work that they have created was awesome. So I'll get back to my screen again. Let's move on to the next one. This was only a text-based learning. Now if I move on by adding on more videos to it, or the best thing Adobe has provided us is that we can add our own voiceovers to it. So I've created a very short video. And yes, even like if I being a teacher, I was feeling very awkward that yes, I'm going to share my video and my voiceover. So Adobe has provided me various kind of animation characters which we can use it, and we can add on our voiceovers. So I'll take you to the journey of one short video, and it's not going to take too much of time. It's just for 3 to 4 seconds, just for you, how we can add on our voice overs. So and yes, it begins.
Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about fractions. Here I have one whole pizza. In fractions, the complete pizza is known as one whole.
And teachers, can you imagine that the voiceover behind coming in the video is mine? So I have added my own video. I have created my own voiceover. I have added my own lines to it, that how I can emphasize my children. I don't like YouTube videos, or I don't want that the kind of the teacher in children in today's era, if they click on YouTube videos and they have many options for the same. So I have done one thing for them, that yes, so today whatever I have taught, instead of penning down, let's explore ourselves, show up on your screens, play the videos, add your own voiceover, and yes, we can even collaborate it.
So thank you so much,
Thank you,
Ayushi ma'am, for taking us through your journey, which was very interesting. Meenakshi ma'am, would you like to add in a few more examples of how maths teachers can actually use this tool in their classroom?
Absolutely, and thank you. Yes, I think I'm feeling very enriched and empowered that, I've seen so much that is happening in the classroom. While there is so much happening in the classroom, there are teachers who will want to take straight away into their lesson plans, and I'm very excited to see how many of you take what all to your classrooms. To remember, you have assignments and you must take a part in all of those. So I'm going to share my screen now so that I can walk you through some of the live examples of what is it that you can do. Sometimes, so many examples can be pretty overwhelming. But right here I am on my screen, and I'm going to show you some examples of how this can be created. This is my foundation screen or my base screen, and over here I have this search bar on top. Let's say I'm going to take a topic. Now, I'm going to start from the scratch, like Sonia ma'am kept telling that, we're going to showcase all of that. So I'll try and pick some of the examples of what she said, and I will try and bring in shapes here, and, let's see what happens. Let's say I want a template on shapes. I'm a teacher and I'm slightly new to, let's say Adobe Express. Now, either I could look for templates. Sometimes you have a good find here. For example, look at this. It's a good find and I can add to it. So just like this, you can explore. Just go ahead. I found this as very basic, right? But this creates space for me to actually create. So what I'm going to do is over here, I can add in anything that I want. First of all, ungroup and look at this and just simply start adding your additions. Click on media on the left side, go over here, there are photos, there are videos, there are audios over here. And of course, teachers, we do have resources also available over here. These are some of the examples for some senior classes as well. I know you've already attended our session, so there is no need for a formal training, but here's a beautiful example. For example, as a teacher in a senior class, I like to use anchor charts. So in my class, to understand probability, these are some of the key terms, key definitions, keywords that I want them to remember for a longer time. And visuals always bring in better cognition. Here's the concept of algebra. So just imagine a mind map about algebra, and that too a numbered one. So what this helps is, this helps me have a structured way of remembering, and it helps me in recall. Rote learning can't go out of our classes, right? That's an essential part of our learning. But rote learning can also be very interesting in case we can give it a great shape form or some kind of a mind map like this. Here's one on irrational numbers. So a definition and example, imagine this is available with my student. It's a ready reckoner just before the exam. You want to quickly look at something that could really help you recall and quickly help you revise. Here's your revisit sheet. Similarly, here's an interesting one. Now this could be very interactive. On one side, you have algebraic expression, variable and constant, and I've given 3 examples here. I've color coded them. So as a teacher, what I do is I cleverly place them in a random order and I ask them to match. Now that not only helps them know where they stand, so they're actually self-assessing to know where they stand in their understanding. The clue is that the color of the box is similar. So I'm not putting them in a difficult position, yet I'm giving them certain examples to actually latch on to just before the exams. Here's another one for you to look at. There are multiple teacher resources that are readily available, as we have shown throughout this session today. And I hope, sincerely hope that, you're able to take a look at, let's say you're looking at linear equations now. That's a topic that you could be looking at, right? You don't need to worry, because this is not just for junior grades, but also there will be much on senior level as well that you will find here. You could simply start with a template, and if not, you're a teacher and so am I. And I love to create my own custom size examples. Here you go, here's a blank screen. This is my canvas. I can do whatever I want over here. I hope all of these examples were helpful and they did bring in important insights and takeaways for you.
So thank you so much, Meenakshi ma'am and Sonia ma'am and Ayushi ma'am. They were very interesting examples that you all showed about the kind of work that you and your students are engaging. A question that is automatically popping into my head is, did it take a lot of time investment? Did you spend a lot of time thinking, designing, visualizing the whole thing?
No.
Or were you comfortable because you had a certain amount of training in Adobe Express to actually use the templates that you all have been talking about? What has been your experience?
So like ma'am, nowadays you have seen that, instant recipes. So if you pick up a packet of idli where there are
It's
steps
all
given,
ready-made.
the
Right.
same goes with the tool. No tech expertise required. It's very plug and play. You just drag drop, as Meenakshi also just now showed. Ready-made templates are available, elements are available. Just drag and it's ready to use.
So rather than, we are more focusing on working on our kids rather than preparing the worksheets, because it's all ready-made given to us.
But you have to customize at
Oh, yes.
every step so
Yes.
that your students are able to maximize on the inputs.
Yes.
So there was a question that popped up during our conversation, that how do you access all these lovely resources that you've been showing along all the way? So Meenakshi ma'am, why don't you just quickly let us know as to how do we access these resources that the teachers have seen till now?
Absolutely, it'll be my pleasure to show you. So on my screen, I'm going to take you through a few of these, links. It's already there in your teacher's toolkit, and it's been a part of your entire piece all the time. However, here is our web page. I'm just going to scroll through it once again. Remember, this page is there, and this talks about the welcome kit. And similarly, you have a page here which is going to be all about your teacher resources. So as I walk you through these resources, this is the page which you will be looking at. So please be very careful that this is the teacher's resources page. When you look at this page, you will see we have put up everything from building a vision along with you for NEP 2020 to giving you multiple resources here, from infographics to videos to simple graphics. You will find everything that you're looking for over here. As you scroll down, you will have these books available for you. These are teacher manuals that have been prepared for various grades. You will have all the links over here. Please go ahead and access this. You have access to all these beautiful resources. And of course, we have a dedicated education exchange. It's called the Adobe Education Exchange. I can go over here very quickly and give you one glimpse of what it looks like. And I will be able to show you the plethora of examples that I have over there to inspire me into making a lesson plan. You don't need to start making a lesson plan. All you need to do over here is there are multiple resources, and now on the top over here you can see there are teaching resources. When you start looking for these resources, you can simply type math on top, right? As you type maths, you will get ready-made lesson plans. Here you go, I've typed maths, you will get lesson plans, you will have resources. For example, look at this one. Create a graphic, and somehow we don't know how to create a graphic, right? In mathematics, why will I need one? Here's an example. This is a student example. How did this student create? This is a template that was given to the student for student to create. You can simply download from here, and there is a complete lesson plan. It's a beautifully structured lesson plan that is available for you. You could simply go over here or look at our books for any of those plans. I sincerely hope you do use these.
So that's very interesting, because if you want to add in any kind of a recipe, integrate subjects across in the classroom, and we want students to just have 3 ingredient recipes, you just visually put 1, 2, 3, and students know they have to stick to a certain number. That way you also teach them on how they should be following the instructions and doing this. So Meenakshi ma'am, while working with Adobe Express, I've also come across this, a lot of remixable templates that we have seen, which help teachers, I think, mix match, or they are able to adapt it and adopt it for their own classroom needs. So it will be interesting if you could just share a couple of examples of the remixable templates also.
Absolutely. Since you have been through so many examples today, it's only befitting that I take you through one of the examples and show you not only just for a math concept, but probably, how are you going to use in a very informative way. For example, you've seen anchor charts, you've seen, definition worksheets. So over here, I'm going to, on my screen, show you that on the search bar, I type math infographics. Right? It's a simple way of, finding infographics about mathematics. Now, do you see over here the number of templates? Wow, that really tempts me. And then it says show all, and why not? Look at that. You have so many templates that are ready to use, and you could straight away take it into your classroom. Remember, you saw this one on Sonia ma'am's, slideshow? Well, here's your web page that you could actually create. Now, these templates are easy to use. Now, look at this area of triangle. When we give our students, let's say, a question on area of triangle, it is super helpful if I could actually, supplement this with an example. I don't have time to create this. Well, that's okay, but I do have time to tweak this. You could tweak the language over here. Just the way Sonia ma'am said, you could even change the language. Let me show you that, because that seemed pretty interesting, right? This icon over here, which says translate, simply click over here, choose the language from this drop down. For example, let's say I want Hindi as my example. I could actually choose Hindi here, duplicate this and translate this. It offers you to create a fresh one here in Hindi within seconds. Isn't it so gratifying to see that, yes, I mean, something that could be created like right there. My student had a need in my classroom and I could actually fulfill that need right there. That's most gratifying. And of course, all of this is completely, customizable. You could change anything over here. Let's say I don't like this red color. I could simply just click over here, ungroup this, click over here on this shape, and it'll give me the color on this side. Now, when it gives me this color on this side, do you see this? I could simply just click on it. I have so many colors to choose from. And you know what? I think I would like to take it as a pleasant color over here, or maybe something brighter. There you go. Now, you've started to customize or personalize this to your choice. And you could add any of your logos or anything that you would like over here. This was one way in which we could create or remix a template.
So that was very interesting. I mean, with the click of the button, you translated an English template to a Hindi template where teachers were able to use the terms associated. And I think you used a lot of AI facility which is available within the Adobe Express tool for teachers to use this. The interesting part that I thought which was worth mentioning was it gives confidence to anybody and everybody to engage with variety of content. And as Ayushi ma'am and Sonia ma'am were very beautifully describing and taking us through the examples in their classroom, I'm sure all the participants here would have realized that we all have certain values that we can draw from the session that we have today. So one concern that has been, coming to all students and all that have been coming to us is how is one able to share the assignments that have been created over Adobe Express? Because the two teachers had said that I had shared this in my class, I had got students to work on this aspect. So as a teacher, what should I do? What steps, ma'am, should I take so that the students are able to draw benefit from this great tool that I have? Could you quickly just take us through the steps, please?
Absolutely. So I'm going to very quickly share my screen and show you how this works, because it's always best seen as an example. You remember I was tweaking this one. Now, over here on the top right corner, you have a download option. First of all, you could download this, all right? And while you download this, it takes just about a few seconds. There you go, it's ready, right? The next one is that of share. The purple button over here allows me to share. As a teacher, I could share this. Do remember, you might need to change this into anyone with the link, right? And because you're sending it to your student, they might be accessing it. Don't just copy the link. Publish this to web first, okay? Once again, I'm going on the share icon. I changed my option from here to anyone with the link. Then I clicked on publish to web. As I click on publish to web, you could rename this. Let's say I'm going to go for shapes, yeah? And then you can publish this link. Where we have named a file, and we always teach in our classroom to students, don't just send out a generic file, rename it. And on the top right, left corner over here, you see the old name, the new name will pop up over here. As this gets saved, you can copy this link and now you're ready to send. One more thing. You know, when it has to go as a template, there is an option for you over here to make this as your remixable template. Because when you're sending it to students, you can't send the same link, right? They all are going to make the change on the same piece. So please click on this one which says that share it as a template. You could actually choose this one where it allows you to publish this link, and it will go to your students, and you can your students will be able to use this link on their own and make it a shareable link.
Super exciting. So I think the steps are almost similar that the teachers are going to use when they're going to submit the assignments that they have created for the project A. You know, we have been viewing all the lovely projects that have been created. Could you just take us through the Padlet of the projects and the assignments that the students have, the teachers who have participated in our show have been showcasing? Now, this Padlet is a very enriching place because it helps all of us realize the journey that we all have been. And when we look at the Padlet, the experience has been that every teacher has tried to project what they have understood, what they have learned in a very, very meaningful and interactive way. I think the Padlet is taking time to load, and tech issues always create an embarrassing situation, but then so on. Now, if I have to summarize what we have discussed today, using Adobe Express, we are basically helping students tap into the creative side and not stop themselves from expressing on how they are able to showcase the learning in the mathematical classroom. Maths classrooms are extremely manipulative as far as knowledge is concerned, where every student has the option of showcasing what they have learned. And Adobe tools help the teachers create customized worksheets for students. Adobe tools also helps teachers break down the steps into smaller steps so that students don't hesitate in expressing what they know. All of you who have participated and shared your questions with us, we have tried to answer them today. And as we are winding up this session on our NCERT Events YouTube live channel, I would like to take a moment to reiterate 3 things. 1, please log into your Adobe Express account and make sure you're able to see the various templates that are being continuously shared with you. 2nd, please remember 12th of July is the day when you submit your assignments for project A. And 3rd, shortly you will be seeing a feedback form on your screen which will take you through the process in helping us understand about the sessions that have been created. So from all of us here in the studio, I would like to thank the experts who have come in, and thank you so much for joining us today. Namaste.
Namaste.